said the mountain has to move. The mountain has to obey. Has anybody here ever had a mountain in front of you? And sometimes we have to speak to our mountains and say, mountain, move. Move. By my word, I decree that this mountain set before me must move. The presence of the Lord is here. Renaissance Union, all is well? And all is in divine order. Maybe we all stand. This has been that high energy day. Brett started us off in energy, creative energy. Reverend Wilma came with energy. Donnie came with a new talent and energy. And so this morning, let's keep that energy going, that energy flowing. And so let's do a morning workout together. A morning workout. Can we work out? I promise, no squats if you have bad knees like me and Brother Moody. But let's do a language use exercise. How about that? A workout together this morning. Not like Richard Simmons, Billy Blanks, but a language use exercise. Growing up, I remember hearing so many catchy phrases, catchy words, and they kind of like stick with you, don't they? Some of them do stick with you. So let's see. Help me out if you can. People who live in glass houses, birds of a feather, opposites, don't judge a book, the early bird gets better late, nothing ventured, better safe. And another one was, sticks and stones may break my, but words. Is that right? You may be seated. One more. All right. The way the world is now, I need the whole book if you're coming my way. I don't trust the preceding chapters. I want to know your whole story. So thank you, brother. I love you. But today we want to examine the power of words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Because we all know words can break our hearts. Words can make us feel loved, challenged, appreciated, valued. But words can kill a relationship. Words can get you fired from that good job you have. Word can make us feel hope, joy, peace. Word can make us feel guilt, shame, remorse. Words matter, don't they? Do we all agree that words matter? Spoken words have power. Spoken words have power. So I guess my mother was right when she used to say, watch your mouth. Watch what you're saying. And if you can't say anything nice, What did my mother, and apparently your mother, know that we didn't know? What did our mothers know that we didn't know at the time when she said, watch your mouth? If you can't say anything, don't say anything at all. What did she know? She probably knew Proverbs 6:2, because it says, you are snared by the words of your mouth. You are taken by the words of your mouth. Look at that phrase. You are snared, captured, caught up in situations because of the words that come out of your mouth. Has anybody here ever said something you wish you could just take it back? Raise your hand if you ever said something you wish you could just take it back. All of us have. You utter those words most of the times out of emotions, he-motions, she-motions. And you say, oh, why did I say that? I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I didn't say it, but I did. But snared, like we're animals, snared you. Why would the Bible use the word snare? It's referencing the tongue. The tongue can be a wild beast, a wild animal. If you don't tame that tongue, it can be wild. Can it? It's just ready to say a word. And some of us have this attitude, if they say something to me, just say it. Like we're ready, we're on alert with the word. But is it the right word? Is the question. Isn't it the right word? So when you talk about that tongue and the power of the word, you have to learn how to tame your tongue, because it can be a beast and a bearer of bad fortune. A beast of bad fortune. And so we get caught up in positive and negative situations because of the words we speak. Now write this down. This is a process principle. Can we say process principle? Process principle. Because a lot of times we get ourselves in situations, scenarios, experiences, and we don't know how we got there. We don't know how we got there. But we do. It came from a thought. The thought turned into a spoken word, and the spoken word turned into an experience. So that's the process, the spiritual process. There's a thought. There's a spoken word. And then there's an experience. 3 parts to this. What's the first part? A thought. It all begins with a thought in mind. Ooh, we got some seasoned saints in here. Thoughts held in mind, produce after their own kind. One more time so everybody in here gets it, because this is important. This is a critical stage in our relationship. Either we're going to move forward together, or we're going to step back and there's going to be separation. Because after today, we're going to learn to tame our tongue. And so one more time. Thoughts? Spoken words have power. Spoken words have what? Power. And what is power? Power is the ability to manifest. What does it say? Where 2 or more are gathered, I'm in the midst. What's in the midst? Power. And where's the power coming from? Source. What is source? The Christ within. Put it all together. Because sometimes we just say, oh, where two or more are gathered, there I am. Who? Who? Who is there? The power. The power allows us to manifest. Manifest comes from the ability to identify source, connect with source, and activate source. The creation of experience. And so we hear it all together, right? All three must be hand in hand. You can't just get together and say, okay, where you at? I have a thought. And leave it at that. They have to go hand in hand. So here we go again. The thought, the spoken words, the experience, or the action. That's where we're at. Do we got it? This is a learning opportunity for us this morning. And this is not just for you. This is about me. Because my greatest struggle is taming my tongue. I can get fired up. I can get riled up. I won't say that word, Adam. But I know I have to tame my tongue. And so sometimes it's better for me to just walk away. Anybody ever tried the walk away method? Anybody ever tried the deep breathing method? Have everybody tried the not today, talk to the hand? Reverend, you ever tried that? Talk to the hand. Look at, she's an expert. Talk to the hand. Put that head down. I don't even want to see you right now. Just talk to the hand. The words we speak have power. Power. Many of us don't realize when we speak words, we are talking the talk that we have to walk. Did you catch that? Many of us don't realize when we speak words, we're talking the talk that we have to walk. Do we understand that? Because most often we see that we can spend 6 hours a day praying on our knees, bending knees, praying, meditating, connecting with God, the Almighty Spirit, the mastermind. You make that connection, right? That's why we pray and meditate, isn't it? And usually it's because we're in need of something. We don't understand something. It's a critical moment. And so we take to our knees. We meditate. But you know what most of us do? We get up. Then we negate what we did down there. Because then someone asks you a question. How's it going? I don't know. I thought you just prayed. I don't know if God's going to answer me the way I want. I thought you were just meditating. Well, I was, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if it's God's will. Please understand, when you pray and meditate, it's to come into alignment with the Christ. God's will is only the best for you. God is love. God is life. God is joy. God is peace. It's all God is. And so when you pray and meditate and then you get up and say, I just don't know. I just don't know if it's God's will. You negated what you just did. How many of us negate the prayers that we place with God? How many of us negate our prayers with the uncertainty of our mind being expressed, spoken by words. All of us do. All of us do. Because there's so many times I talk to people and they talk, I don't know. I just don't know if it's God's will. Don't you understand? You're canceling out. It's a process. You're washing out. You're canceling out. So where do you find yourself? Getting more of what you affirm. You're getting more of what you affirm. If you don't know, that's what you live in, uncertainty. You get more of what you have because you doubt the power of the Spirit, the power of the spoken word. Do we understand that? This is a critical moment because I know a lot of you guys are seasoned, what we call saints. Seasoned in the word, but you're not seasoned in the manifestation of your spoken word. And that's why you find yourself tumbling back into the same condition over and over and over. That's where so many people are. Only thing you got to do is correct that. You're in alignment when you be still. This time, I will be still. Did you hear the song? Mountains have to move when I'm still and in alignment. Mountains must obey. But I'm still and in alignment. But when I move away from that alignment by negating the relationship that I have, I found myself at the starting point of that moment of connection. Understand, this is critical. I should be telling you right now that you're out of line. But I ask you to say this: I'm out of alignment when I don't sync my thoughts and my spoken word. You're out of alignment. This is not major, but it is. Because some of you are continuing to get what you've been getting and you don't like what you've been getting, you got to get to moving in a different direction. You see it? Now you're thinking right now, how many times am I out of alignment in the run of a day? How many times are my words out of alignment with what I want? How many times do I negate what I want? Somebody say, are you finished with that book? Well, you know. Think about it. That relationship. Think about it. Well, you might be sitting there saying, Reverend Glenn, but what about the setback? What about the setback? The setback that I've had. Anybody ever had a setback in here? Raise your hand if you had a setback. I love Michael's lips. Not that I want to kiss you or anything, but when he does this, he got great lips. What about the setback, Reverend Glenn? The setback is like great indication that you're out of alignment. But the whole theme of life is that the setback is a setup for a come up. It's not a come back, it's a come up. The thought alignment. To getting ahead. The setback is a setup for a come up. Can we say that together? The setback is a setup for a come up. We're coming up. We're not setting back. We're going up. We're ascending to a higher level of consciousness, to a super consciousness. It's not enough to just be conscious, but you want to move into the super conscious realm. Why do we want to move there? Why do we want to move from the conscious, just being conscious, to the super conscious? Because when we move into that super conscious realm, we know that all things really are possible. We begin to manifest the things that we didn't believe in at one time. Anything is possible. That's where we're talking about the supernatural. That whole idea of moving beyond what you see, your five senses, and moving into the spiritual realm where I may not see with my eyes, but I know it's present. How many of you know there's air in this room? Raise your hand. Can you see it? Can you see it? Well, how do you know it's present? I'm breathing in. So if the Christ lives within you, how do you know the Christ is present? This is where I should say, Reverend Wilma and I are giving a workshop in December. It'll be 1999. So you can learn the answer to that. It's spirit. The presence of spirit. We do. We know it's there, and you can connect with it. You have the ability to connect if you get in alignment. And that's what we want to do, get in alignment. So this whole idea is a setback, is a setup for a come up. And it propels us into a new level of cosmic energy and connection. Words matter. Words matter. And what we tell ourselves matter. It was funny. I don't know if Dr. Anita Hicks is here this morning. She's in the back. About a month ago, we had an opportunity, to become certified, nationally certified as diversity, equity, inclusion consultants. And she came to me and said, we're hosting it on our campus, Oakland University. And she said, because we're hosting, we get 2 free enrollments. I said, okay, do your thing. She said, no, you need to do it too with me. So we'll both be certified. I said, okay, good, And so we started last Sunday. She texted me and said, had you done your pre-class assignment? All of a sudden, my mind went into the idea, this is a problem. Because I haven't taken a class where I'll be tested in about 30 years. And I told my wife, this is a different experience. We got into the class. It was 8 to 5 every day. Every day they mentioned this test on Friday. You have to show confidence at 75%. We get to Friday, and it's test day. We go over their questions in this review session for about an hour and a half. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm not remembering all this stuff. I'm almost 60. I think I got Alzheimer's. Dr. Hicks said, well, I'm not good at taking tests. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, boy, both of us going to fail. So they gave us an hour to study on our own. And I went over the material, and I said, something's not right here. I'm leaning on my own knowledge when I should be leaning on the Christ. And so I went into the bathroom, had a seat, clothes was on. I didn't have to do anything. And I called myself into alignment with the Christ, my higher self. And it was a conversation that, Lord, you brought me here for a reason. Lord, you didn't bring me this far to leave me alone. You didn't bring me here to fail. Then I went and took that test. A 2-hour test took me 26 minutes. And I passed it. But Dr. Hicks passed also. But I want to thank her for pushing me out of my comfort zone. I could have easily said, I'm in charge. I don't need to do anything else to improve myself. So thank you. Donnie, it's an illustration. Can we move out of ourselves, move out of our comfort zone into something new? Can we believe if we speak it, it can come into being? All of us want to do something new, something different. Is that right? All of us sense that there's more to life than what we've seen already. But we got to speak it into existence. We got to have that thought, and we got to move it into the spoken word. That's where we want to be. The idea moves into words, into action. Where we fall short is speaking about our true world, our true self. That's the expression. God within us coming alive and being revealed, demonstrated. This week, I have a challenge for you. This week is a challenge. Watch your mouth. Tame your tongue. Watch your mouth. Tame your tongue. I want you to engage in speech therapy. Now, if there's anybody that knows about speech therapy, it's me. I started out life diagnosed as having a stuttering problem. And so I was in special ed for 6 years. Learning how to say words, put words together so I could sound efficient, effective, and then powerful. To engage people with thoughts, put into the spoken word, and then into action. So if there's anybody in here that knows about speech therapy and being a patient, it's me. I'm still working on my speech pattern and controlling my words and voice. And so every now and then you may hear a hitch in my voice, a hesitation, a stumble over a word. But every day I practice. So this week, and hopefully for the rest of your life, you'll engage in speech therapy, knowing that your spoken words matter. They have power to bring you positive or negative things. I want you to watch your word vocabulary this week. New speech pattern. If you're speaking words that produce fear, hate, doubt, or that simply discount you or anyone else, I want you to ask yourself, is it nice? Is it necessary? Simple, isn't it? Is it nice? Is it necessary? And this is to be spoken out of love. Because God is love. And you're made in the image and likeness of God. So all your words should be about love. Is it necessary? Is it necessary if it's not nice? Can we do that this week? Can we work on taming our tongue? I'm with you. I've got the same battle. But sometimes people seem to push my button. And all of a sudden they push that button. It's like they just activate the throat and the mouth just comes open. And so let's work on that. Anything that's negative, untrue, it's not necessary. Anything about yourself that disempowers, discounts you, don't say it, don't put it in the universe. If somebody gives you a compliment, just accept it. If you're trying to do something, say, thy will be done. With total confidence in knowing that thy will is for you to have the very best. The very best. Why would God make you in his image and likeness and treat you second class? It's not logical. It's impractical. It won't happen. So this challenge is pretty serious. Because the greatest challenge we have is to tame our tongue. We're beasts. So who's in? Who's in? That's everybody, right? That's great. Renaissance Unity, I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Thanks for having me this morning. God bless you.